everybody. Meredith Oliver here, and I'm so excited to be here for another episode of Website Wednesdays. How's everybody today? I hope you're doing good. I am talking about websites today and hero images, and I want to share with you some ideas on how to make your website hero image really wow. Okay, so maybe we better start with what is a website hero image? So whenever you land on a website, one of the very first things you're going to notice that you're going to see is this big image at the top. This became very popular in website design a couple of years back. There's been a lot of debate about it over the years, but it is still a very popular, important part of your website. So this hero image right here is important. It is what really catches the eye. It's what makes somebody stop and go, wow, this is something I want to check out. This is really cool. So with a website hero image, there are some important considerations. And as somebody who helps clients with websites at our agency, I spend a lot of time on this. So I kind of figured, hey, this is a topic that would be great for Website Wednesdays. So if you don't know who I am, and we're just randomly connected on social media, my name is Meredith Oliver. I'm the creative director of Meredith Communications. We're a digital marketing agency, and we primarily focus on home builder marketing. We occasionally do some other things, and I've got some samples of websites we've worked on with sample hero images, and today we're going to be talking about how to select just the right hero image for your website project. So let's get started. I've got one of the examples pulled up on my screen. Hopefully you're able to see me and the screen. I'm doing something a little different today. I am doing the webinar via Zoom. So I'm using my Zoom platform to share my screen and to push live to Facebook. Look at that, right? So here is Fantasy World Resort. This is a website that we built and we've maintained. We've worked with them for many, many years. And they have this huge, large, beautiful hero image on their homepage. So I've got some qualities of a great hero image that I'm going to share with you. And the very first one is context. A hero image should set the context of what this website is about. So from the moment I see it, it's my first visual cue that says, hey, I'm in the right place. So in this case, I'm looking for a vacation place in Orlando, Florida, near the Disney theme parks. I'm looking for one with a water park and a lazy river. And so when I land on this homepage, I'm locked in. I know exactly that this is what I expected it. So when you're selecting your hero image for your homepage, that's one of your first criteria. Does this image convey the context of the website? Do I understand what this site is going to be about? Now, we often use stock photo images for hero images, and that's a little trickier. It's hard to find great stock photography that doesn't look like stock photography. So if you're going to use a stock hero image because you don't have photography of your product, then you have to be really choosy and you have to be willing to spend some money on it. So let me show you, this is an example of Falls Reserve, which is a new home community here in the Raleigh area. It's marketed by the great Jim Allen Realty. And we appreciate the opportunity to build this website for them and for this community. And so you'll see that there are some stock images used in the hero shots, but we've also interspersed some product images, and that's really best case. Now, when a website first goes live, sometimes there isn't photography available because in the case of new home sales, nothing's built yet. It's just a pile of dirt. So in that case, we have to really, really work hard to find just the right stock images. And Jim Allen's group was a great partner on this and helped us find those. Then once the homes are built, there's a model, for example, some amenities, an entry monument. those images can be added in. So in this case, the hero image on this website design is designed to be very large. So you'll notice that it takes up most of the screen when you first load the site. And then as you scroll down, you see that there's additional information and images, listings of homes for sale, etc. So that's really your call on your hero image as to what size you want it to be. Do you want it to be more of a banner size where there is some copy and other images below it when the site first loads on most monitors? Can't guarantee it for every monitor. Or do you want it to completely fill the screen and really take over for a big visual impact? Okay, so if you're just joining me, today we're talking about website hero images. That's the name of the image that is on the home page of the website. It's the big image. It's the one that makes you go, wow, this website's really cool and interesting, and I want to click in. So I want you to think about your hero image as if it is the storefront display, your window display for your retail store. And if you had a store on pricey Madison Avenue, right? What kind of things would you put in your window display? Would you put last year's worn out sweater that's got a hole in the shoulder? Or would you put fashion forward, the latest and greatest designs that your shoppers bought for your inventory for that year for your store? Well, of course, you'd put the latest and greatest. You'd put the most beautiful either pieces of clothing or furniture, whatever it is you're selling, you would put that in your window display. Well, your hero image is your window display to the world. Your window display in a retail store, it convinces people to come in off the sidewalk. And that's what your hero image does for your website homepage. It convinces people to come in and stay. All right. So let's see next. Up. So the first thing I said was that the hero image should provide context. Okay, the next C is composition. So the composition of the photo is really important. This is a CPA group out of San Antonio, Texas. This is the Gonzalez group. And for their hero image, they're using a landscape orientation photo. And the composition of this has to fit that space on this page. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have, clients have when they're working with us on their hero image, is they want to pick images that don't literally fit the space on the screen. So when we do a layout or what's called a wireframe, what we are doing is creating this page to fit, and then the image that goes in this space has to fit this height and the width. So we can't take an image and we can crop a larger image to fit a space. But if an image is too small, we can't make it bigger, not without terribly distorting the image. So composition refers to the composition of the photo itself, how objects are placed on the photo, how zoomed in or zoomed out the photo is. And then we also think about the size and the overall, does it fit in the space of the wireframe itself? There's a big difference between the space on this one versus this one, which is a very tall hero image, versus this one that's a shorter hero image. So that's a big part of it. So when you're first designing your site, if you don't love your hero image, then one of the suggestions I always make to business owners is you can show a photographer your layout of the site, show them the area that is available, the composition of the hero image, the size, the shape, everything that's needed, and let them take photos for you specifically to fit that space. I'll pull up my speaking website, You know how many years it took me to finally get a shot that the shot that I wanted? It took me years to get a shot of me on stage that filled the space, that had a room full of people. There's so many things that go into this being a great shot. So sometimes you have to go get that shot or make it happen if what you have in your inventory of photos doesn't quite fit. Okay, so we're talking about website hero images, and we're talking about how to get a website hero image for your homepage that totally rocks and makes people want to come into your website. So the first C we talked about was context, that the hero image sets the context of what is this website about. It's a visual cue. Then we talked about composition, the photo composition, that we can work with larger photos and crop them, but we can't work with smaller photos and make them larger without distorting them. So then the third C is color. And the color of the photo obviously is going to be really important. The color has to work with the colors within your brand. Some of that you can Photoshop, but a lot of it you can't. So this family resort in Kissimmee, Fantasy World Resort that I've been showing you, you'll notice that this photo, it has the green of their logo. It has the orange in the umbrellas of the logo. Of course, the white in the sky. Like the colors of this so naturally and nicely complement their branding that it's just brilliant and it all works together. So if you have a particularly colorful brand, when you select your hero image, you have to be really careful and very thoughtful about the colors in the photo. We here at Meredith Communications, we pay a lot of attention to that. A lot of times we are selecting hero images for website mock-ups when we're on a website project. And then I show it to the client, and almost always the very first question I always get is, well, can that photo be swapped out? And of course, the answer is yes, you can swap it out, but we chose it for a reason. And so that's a lot of why I wanted to do today's Facebook Live, is I wanted to tell you what our reasons are. So we're looking at context, we're looking at composition, we're looking at color, and our fourth C that we're looking at is clean. Does the photo have some nice, clean, negative space where we can overlay messaging or navigation buttons? So let me give you an example. Here's Brighton Homes out of Boise, Idaho. They're just a fantastic group of people. We love working with them, and they have incredible photography of their product. And they are very good about making sure that there's some negative space so that the photos we select, we can overlay the navigation, we can overlay wording, and it works great. So when you're looking at photos, if you're going to do a big call to action button right in the middle of the hero image area on the design of your website, then you can't have someone's face right there where the button is going to be over the face in the photo. You don't want to ever put wording or buttons over faces or over areas that are too busy so that we can't see the wording or see the navigation. Sandcastle Homes in Houston is a great example. This is an example of a site that does the hero image actually as the entire background image on the home page. So this is another option. You can do a banner that rotates hero images, or you can do one big image, hero image, and then float the logo and navigation on top of it. And then in that case, this does not rotate. This is a home builder that builds in town townhomes and single family homes. So it makes perfect sense to show a downtown spot with a lot of green, with some in town single family homes that are, built, and it just sets the context of what this is. And then we've got Houston's best value in town. So all of those are clues as to the context of the site. The sky up top provides us that negative space I was talking about to float the logo and the navigation on top. When you go with the site design in this way, boy, you really have to pay attention to what you select. And it's going to come down to only a few photos that will actually work for this type of layout. But when you do it, it's a wow. People load it and immediately go, oh, that's cool. So that's a different type of hero image. So hi, everybody. If you're just joining, it's Meredith, and we're doing Website Wednesdays, Facebook Live, talking today about hero images on your website. So far, we've gone over the importance of context for your hero image, composition, color, and clean. And then I'm going to do one last one, and that is communicate. Sorry, I had somebody like texting me on my watch for a second. And that is communicate. So communicate is what your hero image should do, and that is communicate emotion. It should communicate something that makes people want to buy your product, want to be involved in your product. And that really is where great lifestyle photos come into play. So one of my favorites, Thompson Homes, Nick and his team, and the team at Group 2, here we go. Sorry about that. Got the wrong one there. They've done a great job in working with us on this site, and we'll give it a second to load. I know it's hard doing all this. I've got Zoom running on my computer. I've got Facebook Live running, and I'm pulling up websites left and right. So slows everything down just a little bit. But he's got some great lifestyle shots on here that convey a lot of great emotion. And that really is the power of a good lifestyle shot. Of course, the ideal would be to have photography taken in your model homes or in your community so that you've got lifestyle plus their customized shot, and they're not stock photos that we've all seen many times. But in short of that, you can absolutely, if you're willing to pay, you can absolutely get good stock like on this site to use for your hero image. So this is kind of a blend of what I've been talking about in terms of we're floating the navigation and the logo on the top of the hero image. So it is a background image, but it's not quite as tall as the Falls Reserve. And this one actually does rotate and shows a mixture of product and emotion. So this one in the tent is just priceless, this photo. And that's a great, great one for communicating some emotion in the hero image. It should make me want to know more about this and to go into this website to learn more. Certainly the Fantasy World Resort one does. I just want to get in one of these chairs, and I have many times. This is a great place to stay, by the way, when you're in Orlando at your Disney vacation. And I just want to float on this lazy river and sit in one of these chairs forever, right? Or if I was a business person looking for somebody to handle my accounting needs, and I come across this photo of Norbert and his team, it makes me want to do business with them. And that's what a great hero image does. Same thing for Falls Reserve. So all of these samples I'm showing you, I mean, isn't that incredible? Don't you just want to walk down that lane right there? It's amazing. All right, so the last thing I'm going to cover, and then we'll wrap it up for today, is what about video hero images? You're seeing more and more of these, and I'm getting more and more requests here at the agency to do them this way. And they're fabulous. But it takes special video to make this work. I mean, Pratt Home Builders, they did a hero background image and video, and it's amazing. It shows lifestyle, it shows product. They did a good job of filming it in a way that it loads quickly and it works real seamlessly on the website. Typically, what we recommend is a video no longer than a minute. In this case, an MP4 file, that's basic video file. But it's really more about what's in the video and what it conveys. We don't recommend sound on these. Remember, a lot of people are on your website in places they shouldn't be. They're in their cubicle at work. They're in the back of the room during their kids' dance practice, and they're waiting on their son or daughter to be done with dance practice, and they need to be quiet. So don't recommend audio on this, but just that background video looping is pretty powerful. And you can actually take this and you can turn it into a Facebook cover video. So we're seeing more and more of that on Facebook business pages, where the still image at the top can now be a video. And so you could dual purpose if you were thinking about doing that. So that's what we've got for today. Talking about talking about website cover images and hero images and how to make them really incredible. And the important aspects are the context the photo gives. Does it give me clues as to what this website is about? Who is your target audience? What do you sell? What price range is it in? It should give me visual cues on all of those things. Next is the composition of the photo itself. Does the photo fit into the wireframe of the page? Is it properly either zoomed in or zoomed out so that the overall placement of the objects in the photo makes sense? Okay. The color of the photo should complement your branding. The photo should be clean and have some negative space so that we can overlay call to action buttons or taglines in somewhere on the image. And then lastly, the image should communicate some emotion and really make you feel good about it. Okay, so I hope you've learned something today. I will not be doing Facebook Live next Wednesday, as I will be at the High Five Conference downtown Raleigh all day Tuesday and Wednesday as the MC of the event. But I will be back the following Wednesday with more tips and tricks. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.